ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Good morning to all. Today, let us discuss about the chapter periodic classification or periodic table. Periodic classification or periodic table. In this chapter, what we have to discuss and what are the aspects or what are the concepts we have to discuss. In this chapter, we have to discuss about the classification of the elements and construction of the periodic table and the important features of the periodic table. And same time, we have to discuss about the periodic properties also. Right. Before going to discuss about the periodic classification or construction of periodic table, first we should familiar with an important term, that is an element. How can you define the word element? What is the meaning? What is the meaning of the word element? An element is a substance that contains same kind of atoms. That means that is purely homogeneous. Only one type of atoms are present in the element. Right. But here, in olden days, very limited number of elements are available. But as science develops, number of elements were discovered. Then it is essential to classify the elements. And here the classification of elements causes to or leads to study of chemistry in a better way. Look at here. In olden days, very limited number of elements are available. Then it is very easy to understand, to study about the elements and to study about the properties of the compounds formed by that elements also. Why? At that time very less number or few number of elements are available. But as science develops, number of elements, large number of elements were discovered. Then it is very difficult to remember the properties of the elements and to understand the behavior of the elements, and it is very difficult to study about the properties of the compounds formed by the elements also. Take for example, suppose in a classroom there are 10 students. There are 10 students in a classroom. Then it is very easy to evaluate the students in an effective manner. We can identify their names, we can identify their marks, we can identify their parents, and we can evaluate the total attitude of the student and also the behavior of the student. What is the reason for that? Very limited number of students are there. And in the same way, there is another class with 100 students. Then it is very difficult to remember the names of the students and observe the behavior of the students, and same time it is very difficult to evaluate the different aspects of the student. In the same way, when the limited number of elements are available, here the study of elements is supposed to be very easy. As the number of elements discovered, with increase of number, it is very difficult to remember the properties of the elements and also the compound that are formed by the elements, and same time it is difficult to study about the properties of the compounds also. That is the basic need of, basic necessary of classification of elements. That means here the elements should be arranged in a systematic way, in a regular order. Then only it is very convenient to study about the elements. That is the basic need of the classification of elements. Right. But what about the scope of classification of elements? What about the scope? It is very clear. The construction of the periodic table or the classification of the elements is the major contribution towards the development of chemistry. And same time it is very convenient to study about the elements. And here, as a result of that, periodic classification or periodic table is the one of the biggest achievement in the field of chemistry. Right. But at present, the total number of elements available is 118. Among 118 elements, 104 elements were already given the names. And very few elements means only 14 elements are yet to be given the names. But now they are represented with the IUPAC names. IUPAC names. And there is an important note. In these 118 elements, more than 85% of elements are metals. And they are existed in the solid state. Very few elements are non-metals and they are existed in the liquid state and also gaseous state. And the elements beyond with the atomic number 92 means the elements which are appeared after uranium are synthetic elements. They are also known as man-made elements. What is the meaning of that? They are not naturally occurring elements. They are obtained during the radioactive disintegration of the element uranium. As a result of that, here the elements beyond with the atomic number 92 or beyond uranium are known as transuranic elements. But here most of the transuranic elements are radioactive in nature. They are radioactive elements. They are man-made elements. They are synthetic elements. Okay. And here this is about the brief introduction related to the periodic table. Right. But what about the periodic classification? How the elements are classified in olden days? And what about the development of the periodic classification? What about the history of the periodic table? That we have to discuss. Right. In olden days, very limited number of elements are available. And the first classification was given by Lavoisier, father of chemistry. In Lavoisier classification, the elements that are available at that time are divided into two groups. What are they? First group, metals. Second group, non-metals. First group, metals. Second group, non-metals. According to Lavoisier, the elements which are existed in the solid state are metals. The elements which are existed in the liquid state or gaseous state are non-metals. Okay. But here, after few years, the Lavoisier classification was rejected. What is the reason for that? Here there are some deviations observed in the classification. Example, let us consider the element mercury. Mercury is existed in the liquid state, but that is a metal. It could not explain by the Lavoisier. Here he could not give the reason. In the second case, there is another exception, that is iodine. Iodine is existed in the solid state, but that is a non. After the rejection of Lavoisier classification, number of contributions or major contributions were given by the scientists like Dobereiner, Newlands, Lothermeyer, Mendeleev, Bohr and Thomson, etc. Right. Here, after Lavoisier, another classification was given by Dobereiner. Here, this is also, his classification is also commonly represented as law of triads. Law of triads. What about the important features of law of triads? What about the important features of Dobereiner classification? Here, first one. In Dobereiner classification, the total number of elements that are available at the time are divided into or classified into number of groups. Each group consists of three elements, and the three elements in each group should be chemically similar. And according to Dobereiner, when three chemically similar elements are arranged in a group, the atomic weight of the middle element is the average of the atomic weights of the remaining two elements. I am repeating once again. According to Dobereiner law of triads, when three chemically similar elements are arranged in increasing order of their atomic weights, here the atomic weight of the middle element is the average of the atomic weights of the remaining two elements. Right. Let us go through different examples. First example, lithium, sodium and potassium. Lithium atomic weight 7 grams. Potassium atomic weight 39 grams. But what about the atomic weight of sodium? Look at here. Atomic weight of sodium is equal to sum of atomic weights of lithium and potassium, that is equal to 23 grams. And we can give another example also. Chlorine, bromine, iodine. Chlorine atomic weight 35.5 grams. Iodine atomic weight 127 grams. What about the atomic weight of bromine? That should be equal to the average of atomic weights of chlorine and iodine. Here, atomic weight of bromine equal to 35.5 plus 127 by 2, that is equal to 162.5 by 2, that is equal to 81.25 grams. And same time, we can give some other examples also. What are they? Calcium, strontium, barium. And another example, sulfur, selenium, tellurium. These are all examples to the law of triads or Dobereiner triads. But unfortunately, Dobereiner classification was also rejected. What is the reason for that? By observing all the triads that are made by Dobereiner, there is a deviation. What is the deviation? In case of some groups, the atomic weight of all the three elements are same, identical. Look at here, example, iron, cobalt, nickel. Next, osmium, iridium, platinum. In these cases, here the atomic weights of all the three elements are same, identical. As a result of that, here Dobereiner law of triads was rejected. This is about the detail that are related to Dobereiner classification and Lavoisier classification. Right. How the objective questions are given from the Dobereiner law of triads? Take for example, here which one of the following set of elements obey law of triads? First option, iron, cobalt, nickel. Second option, osmium, iridium, platinum. Third option, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. And fourth option, lithium, sodium and potassium. Here this is the answer. And in the same way we can apply the same thing in different way. Set of elements that are not obeying the law of triads. For that, here the first option, lithium, sodium, potassium. Second one, calcium, strontium, barium. Third option, chlorine, bromine, iodine. And fourth option, osmium, iridium and platinum. Here the answer is D. This is the way of questioning in objective exams that are related to the law of triads. Law of triads, right? After this, there is another classification was given by Newland, that is known as law of octave. Law of octave. What about the important features of law of octave? Law of octave. Here the law of octave was given by John Newland. According to law of octave, when the elements are arranged in increasing order of their atomic weights, here the properties of the first element are exactly repeated at the eighth element, just like the eighth note in the music. I am repeating once again. According to law of octave, when the elements are arranged in increasing order of their atomic weights, the properties of the first element are exactly repeated at the eighth element, just like the eighth note in the music. Let us consider an example. Lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, potassium and calcium. Let us consider lithium is the first element. Here the properties of the lithium are exactly repeated at the eighth position. Look at here. First position, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh and eighth. In the same way, let us consider sodium as the first element. Once again, the properties are repeated at the 8th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. That means the properties of the elements are repeated at the 8th position, just like the 8th note in the music. So, this is known as law of octave, and that was given by Newlands. But unfortunately, law of octave was also rejected. What is the reason for the rejection of law of octave? Here, beyond the element calcium, this law of octave is not applicable. Or in case of heavier elements, law of octave is not obeyed. Law of octave is not applicable for the heavier elements. This is about the law of octave. And then another classification was given by Lothar Meyer. What about the Lothar-Meyer classification? At the time of Lothar-Meyer classification, most of the chemistry scientists are believed that there is a relation between the properties of the elements and atomic weights or atomic masses. In order to explain or in order to prove that, here Lothar Meyer plotted a graph between atomic volume and atomic mass. Okay, but how can you calculate atomic volume? Here, atomic volume of elements equal to atomic mass by density. Atomic mass by density. Then a graph is obtained, that is this is the graph obtained for Lothar Meyer when a graph is plotted between atomic volume and atomic mass. But what about the important features? Here, in these graphs, the peaks are occupied by alkali metals. The peaks are occupied by alkali metals. What are they? Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. And troughs are occupied by transition elements. Troughs are occupied by transition elements. These are the troughs. Troughs are occupied by transition elements. And mid-regions of ascending curves. Mid-regions of ascending curves means this is the mid-region of ascending curve. These are the mid-regions of ascending curves. They are occupied by halogens, means fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. And the mid-regions of descending curves are occupied by mid-regions of descending curves. Descending curves are occupied by alkaline earths. Alkaline earths. What are they? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium and barium. These are the important features that are observed in the Lothar-Meyer atomic volume curves. These are represented as Lothar-Meyer atomic volume curves. And these are the important features that are observed from the graphs plotted by Lothar-Meyer. And after few decades, Lothar-Meyer classification was also rejected. Then an important or a major step or a major contribution is given towards the construction of the periodic table. A major contribution was given by Mendeleev towards the development of chemistry. What is that? That is nothing but construction of periodic table, that is Mendeleev's periodic table. Here, what is the basis for the construction of the Mendeleev's periodic table? That is Mendeleev's periodic law. What is Mendeleev's periodic law? The physical and chemical properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic weights. Means what? Here the physical and chemical properties of the elements are depending upon their atomic masses. And here he was given the opinion in the form of a statement that is known as Mendeleev's periodic law. That is basis for the Mendeleev's periodic classification. What about the important features of Mendeleev's periodic table or periodic classification? What about the important features of Mendeleev's periodic table? In Mendeleev's periodic table, the elements are arranged in increasing order of their atomic weights. When the elements are arranged in increasing order of their atomic weights, there are some horizontal and also vertical lines are formed. Here horizontal rows are known as periods and vertical rows are known as groups. Horizontal rows are known as periods, vertical rows are known as groups. Totally in Mendeleev's periodic table there are 7 periods and 9 groups. Among the 7 periods, first, second and third periods are known as short periods, and fourth and fifth periods are known as long periods. But once again there is an important note. Each long period is divided into 2 series. They are arranged in horizontal rows. They are also represented as first series and second series. Totally 7 periods are there. This is the information related to the periods in the Mendeleev's periodic table. But what about the groups? Here, in Mendeleev's periodic table, the groups are given the names from 0 to 8th. 0 to 8th. Except 0 and 8th groups, the remaining all groups are divided into subgroups. And the subgroups are named as A and B groups. The subgroups are named as A and B groups. Example. Let us consider first group. First group is divided into 2 groups. What are they? First A, first B. In the same way, second group is also divided into 2 groups, A and B. Here what are the elements in first A? Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. But what are the elements present in first B group? Copper, silver, iron. In second A group, the elements that are present: beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium and barium. In second B group, the elements that are present are zinc, cadmium and mercury. This is about the information related to the groups, right? But what about the other additional information or additional features of long form periodic table? Here the first one. At the time of Mendeleev's periodic table, only 63 elements are available. And at the time of Mendeleev's classification, noble gases are not identified. Later on they are identified and placed in the Mendeleev's periodic table. At the beginning, noble gases were not discovered, noble gases were not identified. Later on they are discovered by Rayleigh and Ramsay etc. and placed in the Mendeleev's periodic table. And here the elements with the lighter masses, means lighter elements, are widely distributed in the nature, and same time they are having sharp, well defined properties. What is the meaning of the sharp, well defined properties? They are having sharp melting points, sharp boiling points and considerable densities. Means here they are widely distributed in the nature, they are naturally occurring, and same time they have sharp, well defined properties. Who are they? Here lighter elements are having that nature. And another one, he left some gaps to the unknown elements at that time. He left some gaps to unknown elements at that time. And for that gaps, he was given the names also. What are they? Eka boron, Eka aluminium, Eka silicon. This is the major and significant contribution towards the discovery of new elements. And here, fortunately, Mendeleev identified or predict some unknown elements at that time, but unfortunately, he was not given the names, and he left some gaps in the periodic table, and same time he was already given the names to the gaps also. What are they? First one Eka boron, second one Eka aluminium, third one Eka silicon. Later on, the elements, new elements were discovered and placed in the gaps, and they are named as Eka boron is later on named as scandium. Eka aluminium is known as gallium. Eka silicon is known as germanium. These are the important features of Mendeleev's periodic table, and there is another feature is also there. Eighth group is presented extremely right side of the Mendeleev's periodic table, and that eighth group consists of 9 elements. These 9 elements are arranged in 3 horizontal rows and 3 vertical rows. Each horizontal and vertical row contain 3 elements. Here this is horizontal row contain 3 elements. This is vertical row contain 3 elements. Each and every horizontal and vertical row contain 3 elements. Totally 9 elements are present in the 8th group. As a result of that, 8th group is also commonly represented as triads group. Triads group. Triads group. They are present at the right side of the periodic table. This is about the important features of Mendeleev's periodic table. Okay. But what about the advantages? What about the advantages? And what about the limitations? Limitations means defects that we have to discuss. Here the advantages of Mendeleev's periodic table are similarity between the elements. Similarity between the elements was identified. First. Similar elements are identified. Best example, 8th group, transition triads. Similarity between the elements was identified. And what are that means? The elements which are not discovered at the time of Mendeleev's classification were left some gaps. Means he left some gaps to the unknown elements. Later on means it causes to or it leads to the discovery of new elements. Lanthanides and actinides. Lanthanides and actinides are separated from the periodic table. This is about the advantages of the Mendeleev's periodic table. But what about the defects? And what about the limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table? First one, anomaly in the inversion, that means anomaly in the arrangement of the elements is observed. That is known as anomaly in the arrangement of the elements was identified, and that is nothing but inversion of atomic weight. Such pairs are known as anomalous pairs. Anomalous pairs. What are they? Example, argon, potassium, cobalt, nickel, tellurium, iodine. What is the problem with that? And how can you say that is anomaly in the inversion of atomic weights? Here, argon atomic weight 40 grams, but the potassium 39. What is the meaning of that? Potassium should comes first, argon should comes next according to Mendeleev's arrangement. But here the condition is reverse. Cobalt atomic weight 59 grams and nickel 58 grams. Here also the same thing is observed. Tellurium atomic weight 128 grams, iodine 127 grams. Same thing is observed here also. Means when the elements are arranged in increasing order of their atomic weights, there are some deviations are observed. Means there is an inversion of atomic weights of some pairs of elements. They are represented as anomalous pairs. Very, very important for the objective questions or exams. And second one, no proper position no proper position was given to lanthanides and actinides, not justified. And here the position of eighth group is also not justified. And isotopes were group element. There is no similarity between the elements of same group. No similarities in the properties between the elements of same group. Means here the A group elements and B group elements should exhibit some similarities in the properties. Why? They are collectively, the two subgroups belong to same group. Then they should exhibit some similarities in the properties. But that is not observed in the elements of the same group or A and B groups. That is the one of the defect. And here these are all the limitations or defects of the Mendeleev's periodic table. Mendeleev's periodic table, anomaly in the inversion of atomic weights is observed, and Mendeleev could not explain the reason for that, and there is no proper position provided to the lanthanides and actinides, and the position of eighth group elements is not justified, and isotopes were not given proper position, and there is no similarity in the properties between the elements of the same group. The elements of same group means between the elements of the subgroups in a given group. This is about the important features of Mendeleev's periodic table, advantages and defects. After the rejection of Mendeleev's periodic table, once again there is a big discussion was going on between the relation between the properties of the elements and atomic masses. And here, in order to prove that, Moseley made another important attempt. Here, Moseley plotted a graph between the atomic weight versus properties of the elements. Here, what about the property of the element? Square root of frequency of X-rays. Square root of frequency of X-rays, root mu. And he plotted the graph between the atomic weight versus frequency of X-rays of given element. Then a zigzag graph is obtained. Then it was proved that there is no relation between the properties of the element, particularly physical properties of the elements and atomic weights. By plotting the graph between the atomic weight and properties of the elements, here a zigzag graph is obtained, and then it was proved that there is no relation between the atomic weight and physical properties. Then Moseley was introduced another periodic law that is known as Moseley's periodic law. What about Moseley's periodic law? According to that, the physical and chemical properties of the elements are periodic functions of their atomic numbers. And in order to prove that, he plotted a graph between atomic number Z versus a physical property that is nothing but square root of frequency of X-ray spectral line. Frequency of X-ray spectral line. Then the graph is like that. That is, this is atomic number, This is the square root of frequency of X-rays. This is the graph obtained. And same time, related to this Moseley's periodic law, he was introduced an expression that is root nu is equal to A into Z minus B. Here, root nu is equal to frequency of X-ray spectral line. A and B are constants. Each and every element has its own A and B values. From element to element, they are differ. Z is equal to atomic number. Z is equal to atomic number. Root nu frequency of X-ray spectral line. Then this is the graph obtained. From this graph he stated that there is a relation between the atomic number and physical and chemical properties of the elements, and that was given in the form of a periodic law that is known as Moseley's periodic law. And here the related to the graph we can write that root nu is equal to Az minus AB, right? That is y is equal to mx minus c graph, and here that should not pass through the origin because there is no element with atomic number 0. This is about the Moseley's periodic law.